Multi-ad group testing is incredibly useful in getting data insights you can use in your marketing. So for instance, you may have questions like, should we use brand-based ads in non-branded with non-branded keywords? Should we use a price versus a discount? Should we use a call to action versus an authority statement? All these various hypotheses are the things we want to look at. Now, if we need some initial ideas of intersections of ads, then we can go to our heat map, we can select the campaigns we want to look at, and we could see what happens if my headline one is guaranteed rent versus plus 4 years of rent, and how does that cross with a different line and yet a different line, and then start to see the intersections of data. Often initially, you just want to get some results. So often we have sort of our hypothesis. So our first question is, where do we want to know this data? Is it all the campaigns, only select campaigns? I find it's incredibly useful to use the label feature and label your brand campaigns brand, your product ads product, or whatnot. You can even use the ad group labels. And then we think about how our ads are written. Often headline 1 is related to the ad group. Headline 2 is a call to action or a benefit, could be an authority statement. Headline 3 often supports 2, and then we have our descriptions, etc. So let's say that we're just trying to get some information, and we want to think, how do our top lines work now? We can just click the folder icons, choose our exact top lines, and start to see how these would interact. But if you want to start getting sophisticated, this is where a lot of the ad pattern matches come in using wildcards or don't include. So for instance, what if we wanted to test how keyword insertion would work versus ads that do not have keyword insertion? So we would write out keyword with the wildcard that matches our pattern versus the double exclamation point doesn't include, and we would see the metric difference of using keyword insertion versus not. What if we're an e-commerce company? We're just trying to figure out, should we use prices or discounts in our ad? Real simple test just to check out prices or discounts. Now, this also is useful when you have variables in your templated ads. So let's say you're a national plumbing company and you have a lot of local locations. So you might have an ad, call your local plumber. Now you may have a different line you're testing against, such as your local plumber in, and now we can match this to a city name. And so by using a wildcard, it can match to anything. The other advantage to wildcards is if you have results and you're going to replace them, we'll preserve the wildcards so you can replace on either sides of it. And that way you don't have to change all the work you did on those locations or other variables. So initially, you're probably going to go under run tests. You might even use a larger date range just to get some data and get some initial insights into how users are interacting. Now, for most people, what will happen is once you set up several of these and you start looking at the data, you'll see the ad groups don't match where the ads are located. Or you may have 9 and 7 or 10,000 and 5,000. So then the next step you often want to do is go to the ad groups tab, filter down to only the ad groups where you want these ads to be included. You may filter by campaign and ad group, but what's nice is you can easily use filters such as ad text doesn't contain or ad text contains to find places where these ads don't exist and create them. Now, once you filter down, you may also want to do something with that filter which will look at how many ads you have left in that ad group. If you're about to create 2 or 3 new ads in an ad group, you may want to also include a filter, show me places where I already have more than 3 ads. Because if I have more than 3 and I'm adding 2, I'm up to 5 ads at least, I'm suddenly going to have a problem with ad serving. So we could select the ad groups we filtered and then choose our option, pause ads enough to leave 1 or 2 ads left in the ad group based upon lowest conversion rate or highest CPA, so forth. Pause them. Then once we've done that, we can circle back again to the selected ad groups where we want to create these ads for our testing. Go to Create Ads. Where this tool is really nice is you could select 10,000 ad groups, and if something is blank, you can inherit the data from other ads in the ad group. So we could say, oh, we forgot to put call your local plumber as a call to action in a bunch of ads. So we could select all the ad groups, just create this new headline too, right in those places. The system will inherit all the other data from the existing ads in the ad group, so your final URLs are preserved. You can preview and create them. So then once you've paused down, you've created as many as you need to, then we can go back to our pattern testing. And run tests is data on demand. If you just created these tests, you won't have results right away. So then we can go back to our daily test results. We can define an automated test using that same criteria. Then when these tests reach statistical significance, you'll see that alert on your dashboard. So using the pattern testing is a great way to get insights across your account. A/B testing is wonderful, but it only shows you the best ad for a targeting method, be it keywords, audiences, whatnot. Right? The pattern tests, because they include multiple ad groups, are going to give you insights across all those ad groups for how users are interacting with ads. This is where we see this tool used in a lot of different ways. We'll see some people use this data to write email subject lines. Others will use it to determine what the call to action in an email should be. Others do title testing in Google Ads to write their SEO title tags, because essentially an ad is anything designed to influence the user's behavior. An SEO title tag is an ad as much as a Google ad is. So whenever you want large sets of data and customer insights, your pattern testing is phenomenal to use. Some people do all their testing just by text patterns because they can easily pause and replace large swaths of ads at once. Others like to manage each ad individually, but they use the multi-ad group patterns to get the bigger sense of what the templates are or how users interact, so they see the big picture using the text patterns. They may not pause always here, but they use that data in their single ad group testing when they go to create new ads. So either way, using multi-ad group testing can give you wonderful data insights and how consumers are interacting with your ads that you can take advantage of with your ad testing or just your ad creation.